For pretty much my entire adult life, I've bought into and believed and practiced the concepts of mind power, which really come down to using techniques like visualization to create your life. And I've realized there's a fundamental flaw in this thinking, because if you believe that you can create your life, then what that means is that you also believe you can control your life. And so when you don't get the results that you want, well, for me, what it led me to do was to think, well, obviously I'm not doing the right things, or I'm not doing enough of the right things. And so I'd visualize more, and I'd go out there and do more, and trying to create and control my life. And all it led to was stress. You see, I think we've got this all backwards, because when we come into this world, we are born into a natural state of freedom and joy and success. Every kid that comes into this world, before society infiltrates their thinking, has no concept of failure. They have no concept of anxiety, depression. They're in a natural state of joy, freedom, and success. And then what happens is we somehow start to think that we need to do stuff in order to get there. And so we start developing mind concepts and beliefs and conditions around what we think needs to happen in order for us to be free, in order for us to feel joyful, and in order for us to be successful in any definition of the word. And so we start implementing all these strategies about, to do stuff to get there. You see, I think that the power of the mind really is not about programming it. And yet, that is what I've taught and practiced for pretty much the last 3 decades. What I've come to realize is the power of the mind does not come about through programming. The power of the mind is innate. It means that we need to get rid of the programs that are getting in the way of the power of the mind, that are blocking it. See, I've always believed the mind is a broadcaster. And when you program it in a certain way, it broadcasts and beams out a frequency that manifests that. What I've come to realize is the mind is not a broadcaster, it's a receiver. It's a channel. And when we start to get rid of the programs that are blocking the power of the mind, that are blocking inspiration, then we tune into a natural state of abundance, abundant joy, abundant freedom, abundant energy, abundant success. Because that is the nature of life, is that it is abundant. We don't have to do something to get there. We have to get out of our own way. And so the best path to this is self-reflection. The more that you spend quiet time thinking about how you do things, how you react to things, how you respond to things, what triggers you, and why it triggers you. Next time you feel triggered by something, just stop and ask yourself, what is in me that I need to let go of? What is in me that has been triggered? Because what most people tend to do is we tend to look at the trigger. We tend to look at the thing that triggered us, and then we try to change that. But that's just like moving deck chairs on the Titanic and hoping that it's not going to sink. What we need to do is use these things in us that get triggered as a path to growth, to stop and say, why did that trigger me? What is in me that was triggered by that? And then what do I need to let go of? And the more we follow this path of letting go of all the concepts and conditions and strategies and ideas that we've bought into, that we think need to happen for us to achieve freedom and joy and success, we actually become more and more we relax more and more into that natural state. You see, success and freedom and joy and all of these sort of things aren't things that we need to achieve. These are naturally existing states. We need to get out of our own way. Something to think about.